Hello and welcome to the fourth part of this HDR video tutorial. Last part we showed you how to use levels just to tweak the tones within the image, and as you can see we've made something which looks a lot more dynamic. Now in this part it's just a bit of tidying up before we save the file down and it's ready for printing. So the first thing we need to do is just to eradicate any dust particles from the sensor. So zoom into 100%. To do this, just go Control or Apple Plus, and you can gauge the actual size of the canvas by looking down in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. So zoom to 100, then hold down spacebar and left click just to move around the picture. If we take a look at the top left hand corner, we'll see that there are a few dust patches here. So if we choose the spot healing brush, drag that over one of these dust patches, and then we can just click to start to get rid of these. If you need to adjust the brush size, use the square bracket keys on your keyboard. The left square bracket will reduce the size of your brush, and the right square bracket will increase the brush size. So just go around your image, clean up any dust patches that you see. You basically want the brush to be just slightly larger than the dust particle you're trying to remove. Once you finish that, we can now have a look at the noise within the image. Now the process of HDR unfortunately does introduce quite a bit of noise, and we can just see that really in the sky here. So any sort of flat tonal ranges, that's where the noise is really going to start to appear. So to remove the noise from the picture, go up to Filter, Noise and Reduce Noise. And in a few seconds the Reduce Noise filter will open. And again you just want to make sure, same as with the sharpening, that you're at 100%. Try and pick an area that shows quite a lot of noise, and if you want to see it before the noise filter has applied itself, just left click in the preview window to see a before, then release to see after. Here we've got strength of 6, preserve details of 60%, reduce colour noise by 45, and sharpen detail of 25%, and we can actually see that that does quite a good job throughout the picture. But if we go up to the sky, we can see the noise has almost completely disappeared, but it's getting a slight painter-like effect. So we'll actually reduce the strength down to about 4. Preserve detail we've kept at 60. And again, we'll just quickly flick around the image just to see how it's looking. And with those settings, we've actually got really quite a nice result. You can see that the noise in the sky has been almost completely eradicated, but the sharpness and the detail of the rest of the image is still pretty much intact. So when we're happy with that, we can just click OK, and that'll apply after a few moments to the picture. The final adjustment we want to make, as always, is sharpening. So if we go up to Filter, Sharpen and Smart Sharpen, want to be careful with this not to reintroduce the noise that we've just got rid of, so we don't want to over sharpen. So I'm going to take my percentage down to 50, and I'm going to use a radius of about 2.4. Just have a quick spin around the image to see that we haven't introduced any haloing, which is quite a common problem you see with HDR pictures. And if you're happy with the effect of that, which I am, we can click OK, and that'll apply the sharpening to the image. That's basically our final step for creating our HDR picture. If I zoom out a little bit, we can see how the HDR picture is after we've done all the processing within Photoshop, and I can show you very quickly the HDR before we adjusted it with levels, reduced noise and sharpening. So that's how to create an HDR image using firstly Photomatics, then tweaking that in Photoshop CS3. And obviously those same techniques can be used within Elements.